This October 10th and 11th, Prime Big Deal Days give Prime members exclusive access to 2 days of big savings, which means you're kind of a big deal. Prime Big Deal Days, October 10th and 11th, only for Prime members.
We made a promise to our boy Blue that we would make the healthiest foods possible with the finest natural ingredients and real meat first. And that's our promise to you and your dog or cat. Because when you love them like family, you want to feed them like family.
Tomorrow we're down in Nashville cooking up another exclusive with a very pregnant Jesse James Decker.
We weren't planning on having a fourth.
They're filling up that house.
It's going to be such a cute.
Happening now.
KSAT, the only camera inside the 226 District Court today as Christian Moreno make his first court appearance. Moreno charged in that deadly dog attack that killed an elderly man earlier this year. We'll take a look at this case and what's coming up next.
And one mother's tragic story is now a campaign to save lives. How her new organization to stop human trafficking is a way to carry on her daughter's memory. Next.
A few showers and storms popping up on authority radar. I'll be back in a little bit to take a close look at that, see which areas are the luckiest, and if there's any other chance of rain in just a bit. The news at 5 starts right now.
The first at 5, his dogs killed a man. The San Antonio man who owned those dogs involved in the deadly attack that killed a man and mauled his wife back in February in court today. Christian Moreno, indicted last month, his wife facing trial as well.
KSAT 12, the only camera inside the courtroom as the judge set his expectations for moving this case forward. Eric Hernandez now with why this infamous case will soon begin with a jury that may be hard to choose.
It was a brief hearing, but the status of the case against Christian Moreno was made clear. Moreno, along with his wife, Abilene Schneider, are charged with injury to the elderly and dangerous dog attack resulting in death. The February 24th horrific dog attack took the life of 81-year-old Ramon Nájera and severely injured his wife, Janie, in the 2800 block of Depla Street. The dogs were roaming free when the couple was attacked. In court on Tuesday, Moreno showed up with his wife and both sat quietly until their case was called up.
I want to have a very abbreviated trial schedule for this. I don't intend for this to sit here for a long time.
Judge Villamesa telling both sides that this case would not linger on the docket. The state responded that they are about 95% done with turning over all evidence to the defense.
I think in a fairly short period of time, I can give him some medical records and say this now represents the last of everything that I have.
By the next scheduled hearing in 30 days, the judge wanted all the evidence turned over so they could potentially start talking a trial date or even a change of venue.
This obviously has gotten a lot of media attention, so we will need a much larger panel anyways to try to select a jury. And I don't know if you guys have even contemplated a venue issue, but we can talk about all that at the next pretrial hearing.
Both sides agree they will work to make sure the case keeps moving along. So what's next in this case? Well, Abilene Schneider is next. She will return here to the 226 next week for her first court appearance. We'll keep track of this case as it moves along through the court system. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
A 30-mile chase down I-35 south, New Braunfels to San Antonio ends with a man slamming into a van from behind, pinning that driver inside. Still wasn't enough to stop the suspect from taking off, though. That's according to New Braunfels police. It all started around 3 this morning in New Braunfels, where police tried to pull that suspect over. Instead of hitting the brakes, police say he hit the gas and hightailed it down I-35. Officers actually set up spikes on the highway to try to slow him down. Investigators say the suspect got to 35 in Space Center. His car eventually lost a wheel, wound up crashing into the back of that van. Determined to get away, police say he got out and then took off running. He was caught and taken into custody. Turns out there was a passenger in the suspect's car. Police say all injuries were minor. New Braunfels police say they don't know why that suspect ran. A mother's heartbreaking story about her daughter being trafficked is being used to save other families. She tells our Courtney Friedman about the intersection of addiction and human trafficking and how her brand new organization will carry on in her daughter's memory.
We lost our daughter 7 years ago to addiction and human trafficking. And that is what has propelled us to start the foundation meant to soar, healing the next generation.
Elsa Ezel says on the first day her daughter Britta went to college, her drink was drugged.
She was raped, and she really struggled with that, and that led to drinking, and drinking led to drugs.
And drugs led her to people who sex trafficked her.
She was being sold on the back of Craigslist. There's such a commodity for selling people that if they can get somebody hooked on drugs, they've got you.
Ezel says Britta was using drugs and being sold on and off for 6 years. Once clean, she had 2 beautiful babies before addiction pulled her back in and took her life 7 years ago. Ezel and her husband are now raising those 2 children.
There is a world of children born in this universe of human trafficking and addiction.
She knows families like hers need help.
Help the grandparents raising these grandchildren, the adopted parents raising these grandchildren, the foster homes that have taken in these children.
Her nonprofit launching this week will fund therapy for these families as well as other needs they may have to save children from the cycle of abuse and addiction.
The perpetrators know that there's wounded hearts, and they're ready and they're waiting for the next generation.
In Britta's memory, Ezel knows she can make a true difference for the children and families that are meant to soar.
And your first opportunity to help this new organization is this Saturday. I'm holding the flyer for the 5K run and walk for Meant to Soar. It's at the San Antonio Zoo at 7 a.m. You can find the information on their website or ours, KSAT.com. Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
In Washington, the clock is ticking down toward the end of a budget year for the federal government with no new funding approved. The House needs to pass a dozen appropriations bills before Saturday at midnight. But there's a small group of Republicans blocking it, demanding the country not exceed the budget set back in 2022. ABC's Liz Landers with how a $120 billion difference could shut our government down Saturday night.
There's still no deal in sight for Republicans in Congress to keep the government funded as a shutdown looms Saturday at midnight. Speaker Kevin McCarthy telling reporters he thinks he's got a plan to avert a shutdown.
We're sitting here on a deadline, having 72% of it done, 0% done inside the Senate, that the biggest challenge I see right now that can be fixing some of these problems is the border.
Former President Trump encouraging Republicans to hold out for all their demands, even if it means Americans will suffer. Trump claiming Democrats will get the blame. But the White House says any shutdown falls squarely on far-right Republicans.
I'm prepared to do my part. But the Republicans in the House of Representatives refuse. They refuse to stand up to the extremists in their party.
Any spending bills in the House also need to pass the Senate before reaching the president's desk. And the Senate may soon introduce their own short-term spending bill to keep the government open. But the impacts of a potential shutdown will be felt by around 4 million federal workers, including military personnel who could miss paychecks if a shutdown occurs.
It's infuriating that this can't be resolved in a way in which the military families aren't held hostage.
Federal contractor Willie Joe Price, who works in the cafeteria at the Library of Congress, wouldn't qualify to receive back pay if a shutdown happens.
Living paycheck to paycheck and can't afford to do anything, and then the government shut down. And like I say, the government will go back and they're going to get paid. We're not going to get anything.
And the largest union for federal law enforcement says that all those officers are deemed essential and they will continue to protect Americans even without pay. In Washington, Liz Landers, ABC News.
And while many federal operations and services will grind to a halt, one thing that won't stop are Social Security payments. The checks will keep coming if the federal government shuts down next week. Social Security payments can continue because they are mandatory spending and the money comes from a trust fund. The average monthly benefit, roughly $1,700. Disability payments will also continue being dispersed.
In some other headlines, some Lahaina residents are now seeing firsthand the destruction from last month's wildfires in Hawaii for the first time in person. Those who lived in the northern part of the historic town allowed to return to their burned homes. As they arrived, they were given personal protective equipment, gloves and goggles. Health officials fear that toxic soot may now be lying in the ground, and they don't know the long-term health consequences from that exposure. Hawaii's governor says it could take 3 months before Lahaina is fully cleared for re-entry. The fires killed 97 people and destroyed or damaged about 3,000 homes and businesses.
The Supreme Court back in session in Washington today. The 9 justices met in person for their first closed-door conference of the new term. All eyes on Chief Justice John Roberts and how he navigates the current docket. Questions have continued about the court's ethics and legitimacy. So far, the court has struggled to respond to the controversy in the wake of cases like the Dobbs decision and overturning Roe versus Wade. David McCallum of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. and NCIS fame has died. The Scottish-born actor's career spanned 7 decades of memorable performance in the 1963 classic The Great Escape, helped him draw in American audiences. But his role in the spy series A Man from U.N.C.L.E. made him a star in the 1960s. He later gained popularity among younger generations with his role as Dr. Donald Ducky Mallard, NCIS. McCallum died yesterday of natural causes, surrounded by his family. He was 90 years old.
Let's take a live look outside with TransGuide. This is 410 at Crossroads. Nothing really to report here, just traffic moving slowly. You might want to be careful, though, because there's going to be a big concert downtown, and that could be a problem.
Yeah, happening right now. Fans making their way to the Alamo Dome for tonight's Guns N' Roses concert. Last night, Pink, tonight, GNR. This is a reminder, via Park and Ride is the easy way to maneuver downtown tonight. Be aware the Dome's clear bag policy still in effect. You can bring small bags or clutches. The clear bags have to fit certain dimensions, or you can use a 1-gallon size freezer bag. To read the specific sizes allowed, as well as a list of parking garages near the Dome, head to our website, KSAT.com. Also, we have a look at road closures and detours you might run into there.
Actually, a few showers on the radar screen this afternoon. Nothing really extensive, but some decent rain falling west of San Antonio, Uvalde, southwestward, just north of Eagle Pass there in Maverick County. And some locally isolated pop-up showers have developed as well. Uvalde really a sweet spot currently in and around Uvalde, then Divine down towards Charlotte. Seen some brief downpours with lightning and thunder. Don't blink, or you'll miss the rain that has popped up around parts of Bexar County, near Hollywood Park on 1604. And then even on the south side, we had a few little showers pop up there near Lackland and one near Kirby. This is that 20% we were talking about for today. Leon Springs yesterday, 0.91 inches. That was a good haul of the rain there. Isolated in nature, but it's good to see. And overall temperatures in the 90s. Taking a look at our forecast for tonight, a stray shower here and there. By 10 o'clock will clear out, and by midnight an east wind at 5 to 10 miles per hour. We're going to talk about our rain chances going forward and a new record that was set for heat in just a bit.
Thank you, Adam. Still ahead, you may have a washing machine, but that doesn't mean your clothes don't have stains. How sticking with the fundamentals of good laundry care can help your clothes and your washing machine last longer.
I'm Myra Arthur here in the newsroom, and here's what we're working on for the news at 6 o'clock today. A man who was charged with intoxication manslaughter over 6 years ago is finally going to trial. Coming up, why the victim's family says whatever the verdict is, it will not give them justice. Plus, custom art on wheels. Come along with us as a KSAT crew takes a ride, a low ride, with lowrider owners whose cars are now on display at the San Antonio airport. We'll show you how they're flipping the script on car culture. That and more today on the news at 6.
Much, Myra. When it comes to doing the laundry, you see all kinds of tricks and tips online. Some of that is just clickbait, and some of it, though, is worse.
Yeah, some of these fixes can damage your clothes or your appliances. 12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz went to a laundry expert for some good clean tips.
Think you do a lot of laundry? Rich Handel is Consumer Reports laundry guru.
I'm the person that does the laundry at home. My general advice, always check your washer's manual and look at the care labels on your clothes.
And despite what you see on social media, never use anything other than laundry detergent in the washing machine. Not vinegar, liquid soap, or dish detergent. Vinegar can damage some rubber seals and hoses, and dish soap? Just don't.
And you'll just end up with a huge sudsy mess in your machine.
Instead, Handel says always add the correct amount of detergent, about 3 tablespoons. Most people use too much, and that leaves a residue. And it's basic, but separate lights from darks, and don't wash heavy fabrics with light weight. Jeans can beat up your delicates. And always pre-treat stains.
Check it when it comes out of the wash. Make sure you removed all of the stain, because if you put it in the dryer, it will set that stain, making it very difficult to remove.
Here's a money-saving tip. Use your laundry detergent to pre-treat the stain. And skip the fabric softener. It can leave a layer of residue on your clothes, and your bath towels won't absorb as well. And Handel says instead of harsh bleach for whites, consider an oxidizing detergent instead. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Take a look outside with live cam. Some nice clouds out there. Not producing too much around here, though, Adam.
Now we have a few pop-up showers out there this afternoon, as I showed you before. We'll take another close here momentarily, but this isn't our last chance of rain in the 7-day forecast. A few stray afternoon and evening storms today, then another slight chance as we get into tomorrow, and then quiet, sunny, and unseasonably warm. And speaking of unseasonably warm, we have a new record that we recently set. Yeah, another one that we'll get to here in a moment. First of all, a look at authority radar. Most of the action west of San Antonio right now, and some decently heavy rainfall, especially just south of Uvalde, stretching toward Divine, Bigfoot, and then even down into Charlotte as well. You see some good downpours there. You could get a quick quarter to half an inch out of some of this rain, but for the most part on the lower end of that. And even near Floresville along 181, a little bit of a downpour right there that just developed. So far, no lightning with it, but you see this outflow boundary pushing westward. That's moving into Bexar County. And we've got several outflow boundaries out there that are colliding, and these can develop more showers and brief thunderstorms as we go through the next few hours. This is happening right now between Stockdale and Cuero, and even between Shiner and Cuero. This is that 20% we were talking about, highly isolated, most of us dry, unfortunately. Getting some action in West Texas, that's good to see. We have some energy here in New Mexico and West Texas, and this is going to continue to drift southward toward our area into tomorrow because of the steering flow, the upper level high over the Baja Peninsula, clockwise circulation around it, and some of that dirty energy, that dirty flow is going to make it here tomorrow, giving us another 20% chance. Don't get too excited, though, in terms of seeing rain at your house. Here's our future cast. Remember, this is just one computer model rendition of what could happen tomorrow. Some isolated pop-up showers starting at 2 o'clock. Very widely separated in nature and pretty brief as well. If you're lucky, you could get a quick quarter of an inch out of them. But through the afternoon hours and the peak daytime heating, yeah, I think we'll have some of that action developing, and then the rest of the week is looking dry. But for tomorrow, those rain chances at 20%, starting at 3 o'clock, going all the way through 8 o'clock. And then after sunset, as usual, the rain chances really fall off. Here's our overall pattern. We're all hoping for some rain, but we all know the big blue H. Guess what? It pays us a visit again later this week. It moves from the Baja Peninsula back over Mexico and Texas and really influences our weather and deflects any big disturbances away from us, such as big disturbance moving into the western U.S. in the coming days and then digging into the desert Southwest. Unfortunately, that can't make it here because we'll have the upper level high in place to block it out. So a sunny and quiet weather pattern after that next slight chance tomorrow. All right, temperatures, 97 today. The average, by the way, is 88, the record 103. We didn't have a record high temperature today, but we were crunching the numbers in the KSAT 12 Weather Center, and we've had 111 consecutive 90-degree days. So that obviously includes our 100-degree days. You have to hit 90 to get to 100. And that is the most on record In San Antonio, our records go back to the late 1800s, the most consecutive 90-plus degree days. The second was 108 in 2009 and 98 in 2019. We actually came close. We were in the lower 90s toward the end of August there. Temperatures right now in the 90s. We start the day tomorrow at 73. By the afternoon, we're up to 96 again. Mixture of sun and clouds, overall temperatures in the mid-90s, and we're not going to see a big temperature change in the days ahead. Just a few degrees trimmed off, low 90s by early next week, 93.
Thank you, Adam.
All right, you get the feeling, Mary, like the Cowboys just want to put Arizona behind them.
Big time. Yeah, that's one that hopefully it'll not just be moving forward, but moving back up to what we saw earlier in the season. And specifically for this upcoming Sunday, a couple of former Cowboys will make their return to AT&T Stadium. What that means for the Dallas offense. Plus, 2 top 25 teams in the Longhorns and Jayhawks gear up for a big, highly anticipated game this weekend.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots visit AT&T Stadium this Sunday for a Week 4 matchup against the Cowboys with a little bit more familiarity with the Dallas offense than the team would like. Former Cowboys quarterback Will Grier and running back Ezekiel Elliott will make their return to Arlington, and Dallas's offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer is preparing accordingly.
Those are things that we monitor every week, but certainly we know Will knows where a lot of the bones are buried. Zeke obviously does as well. So those are things you talk about, and you think about, okay, hey, let's adjust this one. We certainly have more than one hand signal for most of our core concepts. And sometimes, babe, as you know, you can use it to your advantage because they think that they know what's coming and they hear something, they think, oh, hey, it's this, and we're smart enough to adjust those things.
All right, this Saturday, a Big 12 conference showdown between 2 undefeated top 25 teams will unfold when 24th ranked Kansas visits number 3 Texas in Austin. Coming off of a 38-6 win over Baylor, the Longhorns are averaging 35 points per game while allowing just 12.5. The Jayhawks are 4-0 to start the year for the second straight season, which they haven't done since 1914. Opposite to the Longhorns' Quinn Ewers will be dual threat quarterback Jalen Daniels, who led Kansas to a very memorable road win over Texas in 2021.
He's a real dual threat. I think the natural thing is we think about the runs that he has for explosive plays, but he throws the ball all over the place, and they've got great schemes and concepts. It's not by any means is it gimmicky. They're running real pass concepts that stress your coverages, and then they have the run concepts with his legs as an added element to it.
We've gotten some recognition or compliments on our. The diversity of our offense and how we spread around and the personnel. Well, they do it as good as anybody as well. When you look at the people that get touches and how they do it and some of the stuff they're doing off of it. So trying to keep them out of rhythm is going to be very important.
It'll be a 12:30 kickoff here on KSAT 12 this Saturday at DKR Memorial Stadium. The heat will most definitely play a factor, but it always does in Austin.
Want to clarify, 2:30.
2:30. Did I say 3:30?
No, you said 12:30. I want to make sure 2:30.
Okay.
It's a big game on ABC.
2:30, yes.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Mary.
We'll be right back.